We're on day 12 of the solid axle Tacoma build.
Brought to you in part by Alpine Toyota, Martech Engineering, and in part by.
And it looks like we got a skiff of snow overnight. And looking at the weather, it doesn't look like it's supposed to snow again today until later in the afternoon, which means we have some time to get some work done on this thing. I want to start off by getting in it, firing it up, making sure that it starting yesterday after changing out the terminals and stuff wasn't a fluke and that there isn't some sort of electrical gremlin that's new. I don't think it is. I think if we get in here, it's just gonna fire right up. All right. Sweet! That makes me feel pretty good about it. So look what we got this morning. This is the rear shock tower kit that I'm going to be using on the Tacoma. It's pretty straightforward. These brackets get welded on here, kind of like this, on either side. Your shock can go in the middle. And then these plates, with those welded in place, can go, well, pretty well anywhere I want in here, which also means it's time to go harvest some more parts from the Toyota pickup, because my original plan was to use Tundra shocks with this in the factory mount locations, but unfortunately, because we moved the axle back, that won't work, and I didn't account for not having shocks. So I'm going to steal the 12-inch Bilsteins from the back of the pickup, and we'll throw those in. So this right here is pretty well how these shock towers go together. I have the shock in the middle and these two tabs off to the side. Here's the back plate, which will go right over like this. So I think I'm going to tack it. I'm going to tack it down here at the bottom and then push these guys together, tack it up top, and go from there. Alright, so this is what that shock tower looks like with the shock out and welded together. And now that the shock is out, I'm just going to burn in the inside, and I got a couple more seams to finish on the outside as well. I'm out of wire. Time to run the Canadian Tire. We're back in action. I got the Timmies. I mean, the wire. So there's one of the towers all welded together. All I've got here for like welding equipment is like this little flux core, so it doesn't do an amazing job. I have all the faith in the world that this is super strong. It's just super, super ugly. And you know what they say? Grinder and paint makes you the welder you ain't. So now that the one side shock bracket is done, I think I'm only gonna do one side at a time, because I'd like to pull the tire off just to have more room to get in there to weld and just kind of eyeball where the shock's gonna land. This is exactly how I'm gonna mount it. That sets it at a good angle to go to the axle, and then I'll make a couple of new mounts on the axle side. So first, I need to take away all this fresh paint. As far as the axle side mounts, I'm using these guys. These are from Rough Stuff. I think they came with the 63 kit that I used. We just had them welded in the wrong spot on this axle, so I had to cut them off, which is why they don't look new. Pretty straightforward. Just weld it there to the axle tube, and we'll have a rear shock. All right, so both mounts for the shocks, both lower and upper, are good intact in place. So I think now I'm gonna lower it down here, check down travel, jack it up, check up travel, make sure everything's happy where it's at, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the one side is completely done and back on its wheel. This side, however, I think I'm gonna time lapse 100%, just get it done because, well, looks like we got some weather rolling in. All right, and that would be another item off the list. The rear shock mounts and shocks are done. Anyways, guys, that's about all I got time for in today's video. But hey, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing because I'm uploading videos daily on this Tacoma build-up until it's done. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.